Hello, beautiful people. So are you guys like me and you have been wondering, what is this glass skin trend? What is everyone talking about? How the heck do I get this glass skin? Because I have been wondering that myself for quite some time. But fortunately, I think that I might have found the most beautiful highlighter that gives you the perfect glass-like skin appearance in the entire world. So if you are interested in seeing what is this highlighter all about, go ahead and keep on watching and let's jump on into it. Okay, glass skin. What is this glass skin that we keep hearing about? Because when I think about glass skin, I don't know about you guys, but the joke from SpongeBob, the I have paper bones and glass skin, or was it glass bones and paper skin? It's glass bones and paper skin. That joke automatically comes to my mind. That is all I think of. All I think about is SpongeBob when I hear the word glass skin. But nonetheless, this is like every other trend that we've seen pop up in the beauty industry before. I mean, we've had contouring, we've had non-touring, we've had strobing. I know we've had a million more things, but I'm just drawing a blank right now. But we've had this long, growing list of new techniques and trends that we have to try, and we have to buy these products that give you the non-touring and the strobing appearance, when really it was just regular contour powder. But in reality, these companies were just trying to get us to buy products that we already had in our collection under like a false pretense that you'll get this non-toured appearance and this strobed appearance. But it was just a marketing ploy. So when I first heard about this glass skin thing, I was like, no, I'm gonna stay like 30 feet away from that because I am not gonna fall for these tactics anymore. So even though I was a little bit wary of the glass skin title, if you will, I actually think that I found a product that gives you the most glass-like looking skin that I've ever seen. And this is a product from a brand called Rituel De Fille. I know I'm probably saying that wrong, but I went through many tests of me saying it different ways, and this is the closest that I think I've gotten. Rituel De Fille. Now, this is a brand that kind of reminds me of like Glossier meets Urban Decay. Maybe not Urban Decay. Glossier meets Melt, or Glossier meets Black Moon Cosmetics. They're edgy, yet they still kind of put out products that are for, I don't know, your skin but better type of things, which isn't typically my kind of gig. Obviously, I am a full cake kind of girl, but I think that their products are really beautiful and they definitely caught my attention. Now, one day I was really bored, I was browsing Trendmood, I was impulsively wanting to buy things, and I saw that she had swatched this product on her page. And I was blown away by this highlighter swatch. It was the most pretty highlighter swatch I think I had ever seen in my entire life. So without thinking, I impulsively purchased the Alchemist Highlight Intensifier from Rituel De Fille. Now, this is what I have in my hands right now, and this is what I have on this side of my face. In just a few minutes, you guys will see this product demoed on my cheeks. I have the highlight intensifier on this side of my face, and on this side, I just have a plain old basic powder highlight. And obviously, on this side of the face, we have a lot of glow going on versus this side, which is a decent amount of glow. But we're not quite there. But here is the Alchemist Highlight Intensifier by Rituel De Fille in his beautiful glory here. This is an absolutely stunning cream gel type highlighter, and as many of you guys know, I don't wear foundation, so I've always had problems with getting highlighter to stick to just my bare skin. I've always had issues. Since I started wearing makeup, highlighter will be the first thing to go on my face if I don't use a liquid or a cream or a gel type of highlighter. Now, this puppy retails for $32 and you get 5.4 grams of product in here. So even though this compact is small, you get a decent amount of product in this little pan. Now, I'm just going to read straight from the Rituel De Fille website here, but this is what they have to say about the Alchemist highlighter. The Alchemist is the highlighter for your highlighters, a transformative topper for your favorite luminous products. This remarkably radiant, glistening cream product enhances glow, adds a dewy finish, and creates mesmerizing iridescent glimmer while maintaining the color of the highlight beneath. So I find all of that to be true, and you will see in the demo coming up here soon, but this highlighter basically is almost like a sheer cream base highlighter that has a bunch of beautiful micro sparkles throughout it, and you can see it in the product itself. This is like the prettiest actual highlighting product in the pan that I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like this. It is super multi-dimensional and has a bunch of different micro-colored glitters. You have blue, you have green, you have pink, and together they just work on your cheeks and reflect the light in such a beautiful beautiful and wet looking way. Now, a lot of times people don't like to go for highlighters that have sparkle and shimmer and glimmer in them because it can emphasize a little bit of texture, and people do think that, you know, sparkly and glittery highlights can look a little bit chunky and a little bit, I don't know, cheap on the face. But what they actually do when done right and when formulated right is they will reflect the light in such a way that makes your skin look straight up wet. It will make you look dewy, it will give you the glass skin appearance. And this product was essentially created to do that for you. Now, this product is called the Highlight Intensifier, so obviously you are meant to layer powder products over top of this highlight to get something super, super intense, super long lasting, something that aliens will legitimately see from space. Now, Rituel De Fille's website does state that you're meant to use this product with your fingers. It's a creamy emollient product. It feels really luxurious when you put your fingertips in it, and honestly, like, I would like to take a bath in something like this. It smells like lavender, but very subtly, so if you're sensitive to scents, maybe this wouldn't be the product for you, but I think that it's a nice subtle lavender scent that's not too overwhelming, so I personally like it. And the actual product itself is very creamy and rich to the touch. It almost feels like a gel moisturizer. It doesn't feel greasy on the skin, but it does get slightly tacky when you pat it over top of your cheekbones and underneath highlight and whatnot. It does feel a little bit tacky, but that's just to help your highlight powder actually stick to your face. And if you are like me and you have problems with getting powder highlight to stick down, this product was created for you, basically. This product works so freaking well for getting highlight to stick to your face and for getting highlight to look brighter and more intense. And I'm the kind of gal who has a lot of liquid and cream and gel-like highlighters because I've always been doing this layering technique that they're kind of introducing here. The second I learned about this technique and that I learned that I can put down a cream base to have my highlight be more intense and to have it stay all day, I never went back to just using straight powder highlight. So I have accumulated quite a big collection of highlighters that are jelly and creamy like this type, and personally I've never experienced any highlight make my powder highlight look as intense as this guy. Now I'll tell you, I use the Ciate Dewy Stick, or the e.l.f. version of the Ciate Dewy Stick. I believe it's called, I don't know, the dewy stick, the glowy stick. It's called something that's very similar, and it's obvious that they were duping it out. We see you, e.l.f. But nonetheless, I use both of those kind of interchangeably, and that's my go-to highlight base that I put on my face every day. This guy has completely replaced those. Those products are essentially like a face gloss, and they are basically like a clear base that doesn't have any sparkles throughout it, so it works really nicely to get my powder highlight to stick down on my cheeks. But because the Alchemist Highlight has these beautiful multi-dimensional sparkles throughout it, it just helps to make your highlight brighter and to make it more intense. Now, just a little bit more information about the actual Alchemist highlighter itself. They claim that it is 100% natural, Leaping Bunny certified, cruelty-free, and is made with a vegan formula. It is formulated without synthetic dyes, synthetic fragrances, plastic-based glitters, parabens, phthalates, PEGs, polyethylene glycol. I'm sorry. I can't freaking read, okay? These words are too long for my very small and mediocre vocabulary. The Highlight Intensifier is also formulated without talc, gluten, palm oil, or synthetic preservatives. So we have a whole lot of natural goodness going on here. So the Alchemist Highlight Intensifier is obviously cruelty-free, and if you are someone who buys only cruelty-free products, or you buy products without, phthalates, preservatives, talc, you buy products that are vegan, this falls under, I think, every category possible. I mean, that was a huge freaking list. So this might be the product for you if you've been looking for a highlighter that is kind of like a highlight intensifier, kind of like a gel highlighter you can wear underneath powders. This might be the guy for you. But let me go ahead and put a little stop to this babbling here, and let's go ahead and do a demo of the product so you can see what the Alchemist Highlight Intensifier does for your cheeks and the kind of glow it gives and how it intensifies powder highlight versus just using powder highlight on its own. So this face is looking flat, matte, and even more pancakey than usual, so obviously we're going to be testing out the Rituel De Fille Highlight Intensifier here, and I am so freaking excited to show you guys what this can do on the cheeks, because this is not just like your standard everyday cream highlight or even jelly kind of highlight. This is so much more intense and so much prettier than anything I've personally seen on the market, and I would like to say that I've seen quite a few highlighters like this that are of this kind of consistency that's a little bit more creamy, a little bit more gel-like, because as I've stated, I use these all the flippin' time, so I think this guy's really beautiful. So let's go ahead and add some more dimension to this very matte and one-dimensional looking face here. I feel like I look like I should just be served on a plate at IHOP. I am that pancakey. So according to Rituel De Fille, you are supposed to apply this with your fingertips, and that's just how I've always done it. I've always applied my cream highlighter that way, so I'm just gonna take a little bit here, and you really don't need much. Like, I'm gonna dip my finger in twice, and that's probably enough for both of my cheeks. In the name of science, I'm just gonna go ahead and place the Alchemist highlighter on this side of my face and then some highlight on top of it. And on this side of my face, I'm gonna have just the basic, just straight up highlighter on top of my cheeks. So let's go ahead and pop some of this Alchemist highlighter on top of my cheekbones. And as you can see, I've picked up like smaller than a pea-sized amount. This is the tiniest little amount of product, and you're gonna see that it goes a very, very far way. But without further ado, let's test this guy on the cheeks and see what this looks like. Oh my god, so intense and beautiful and sparkly. And I'm just using my finger to kind of blend around where I placed it down. And there's a really sheer layer of the Alchemist highlight. I'm sure you can see a little bit of something going on, but there isn't a whole lot quite yet. You can see a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of that bluish pink kind of hue, but it's nothing that's overwhelming. It's nothing that's like super, super bright and intense. Now I'm gonna put one more layer over top just to show you how you can build this up, because you can get this puppy extremely bright without having to go in with another highlighter on top. If you just wanna use one product, you know, you're feeling a little lazy today, you don't wanna reach for a million different things, you can definitely use this just on its own and build it up and have something that's bright and beaming that you can see from outer space. So picking up just like 1, 2 dots more of the product, and let's go ahead and build right on top of where we placed the Alchemist highlighter down. So there is just a built up application of the Alchemist highlighter. As you can see, we don't really need to add another powder on top, but we are extra around here, and I know a lot of people who are into makeup right now are into extra makeup. We are going to take it that one step further and add over top the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlight, which is a highlight that everyone and their mama's uncle adores. So I think this would be the perfect highlighter to show the application and the functionality of the Alchemist highlight, because everyone has this in their collection, or at least almost everyone. I'm sure there's some people that don't. Not like there's anything wrong with that, because Lord knows we don't need any more highlights, but like I said, this is just something that a lot of people have, so I know a lot of people know how this applies on the skin, so that's why I picked it out for the demo and for the application, because a lot of people know what this already looks like on their skin. So every single stinking time that I apply my highlighter, I go in with a denser brush. Now this is from Delium Tools. This is the 788 brush. This is legitimately a concealer brush, and fun fact, I actually used it for what it's built for, concealer, the first time today. And I think it did a pretty damn good job, so I might have to pick up a few more of these to use for their actual intended purpose. But nonetheless, I use this for highlighter all the time. Now what I like to do is pick up a pretty decent amount of product, because this will lay down a lot of highlight at once, and then I go in with my fluffier kind of highlighting tapered brush and blend it out, which will give more of a softened effect around the edges, but still have that super bright and beaming application of the highlight where I placed it down, if that makes sense at all. So now, as I always would do, I'm just going to spray down the brush twice here. Oh god, I hate when setting spray like falls on top of me when I'm filming. Let's go ahead and apply a little bit of the Amrezy highlight on top of the Alchemist Highlight Intensifier. And as I stated, I'm going to be applying this obviously over top of the Alchemist highlight, but on this side of my face in just a moment, we're just going to apply the Amrezy highlight on its own, the same exact application way that I'm doing right now. This way you can see the difference and see if the Alchemist highlighter even does anything. But as you can see already, just upon this first application of the highlight, it is bright and beaming. She is there. So now I'm going to be jumping in with my Delium Tools 787. Wait a second here. This is the 788 and this is the 787. I think that this proves the fact that this concealer brush is a really stinking good highlighter brush for packing on a buttload of highlighter under your cheeks. It's just a number away, which has me wondering, was this originally supposed to be a highlighter brush? Probably not at all, and no one probably cares, but this is a conspiracy to me. So back to highlighting, back on track here. But back to highlighting, back on track. Let's go ahead and pick up some of the Amrezy highlighter with my fluffier, more standard, traditional type of highlighting brush. I feel like I've tried so many different types of highlighting brushes over the years. I have all of the ones that all the YouTubers suggested to get, the Anastasia A23, the Morphe M501, but the Delium Tools 787, this guy right here, and the 788, they are just like a match made in heaven for highlighting. I have never found anything better. These fit my cheeks perfectly because my face is very oddly misshapen, and these brushes in combination seem to just get the job done effortlessly and easily, which I appreciate. Thank you, Delium Tools, for saving my highlighting life. All right, but going in with the Amrezy, just to blend everything out and just to go in with one more coat. So here we have the Amrezy highlight over top of the Alchemist highlighter, which obviously is supposed to intensify, and as you can see, we are very, very intense on these cheeks. So let's go ahead and pop the Amrezy highlight just on its own on top of my skin on this side over here. So no Alchemist highlight this time. I'm just gonna go straight in with my Delium Tools 788 and popping this just right onto the cheekbones here. As you can see, it's not super glowy, but it's definitely there. Like, this highlighter is very beaming on its own, but we will see the difference in just a moment. Of course, picking some up on my 787 brush here, and I'm gonna go ahead and like coat the heck out of this brush because I already know that this isn't gonna be as intense and I want things to be even here, so I'm gonna apply a little bit more than I did on the other side. I just sprayed my setting spray just into the air, just completely opposite direction of my actual brush. All right, and get my hair out of the freaking way, and applying just on its own the Amrezy highlight. All right, folks, what do we think? Here we have the Amrezy just all on its own, just on my cheeks, no base, no nothing. And it's definitely glowy, she's definitely there. Here we have the side with the Alchemist Highlight Intensifier underneath. And I don't think I really need to speak for it, but obviously we are way more glowy than we are on this side over here with just my bare skin. This guy just really does what it's supposed to do. I mean, it was created to intensify highlight, and obviously she does her job. And she does her job very well, might I add. So here is the Alchemist Highlight Intensifier up close and personal. Now my lights are definitely gonna wash it out a little bit, and they were washing it out even more. I turned a few of them off and you can actually see the product a little bit better here now, but you're not gonna really be able to see those beautiful micro sparkles and the different colors that run throughout this highlight. So I'm just gonna include some photos of the actual highlighter itself and the texture and whatnot, just so you can get a better idea of what this puppy looks like in real life, because it is freaking beautiful. Everything aesthetically about this product is just so beautiful to look at in the pan. It is so sparkly and multi-dimensional. I absolutely love it because obviously I love sparkles and glittery things, and this is just right up my alley. It is so stunning. But let's go ahead and show you some swatches of this guy up close and personal so you can see what this product looks like, not on my face, just in a concentrated swatch. All right, so I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of product here. And I have literally just like the tiniest little amount of the highlight on my finger, and I'm gonna pick up a little bit more on the other finger because I'm gonna show you what this looks like just on its own swatched out and what it looks like swatched with some highlighter on top. All right, here's my big old arm. So let's go ahead and just swatch one time the Alchemist highlight, and right next door, but look at those beautiful sparkles and glimmery particles that are in this product. And as you can see, when I turn my arm a certain way, like right here, it looks wet. Like, it legitimately looks like I just dunked my arm in water. And then when I turn it, you can see those beautiful sparkles and shimmers that just look so bright and pretty on the face. Like, I don't want to stop showing you this. Look how beautiful that is. It just looks so wet and shiny and glistening. That's definitely the word I would use for this. Glistening. All right, but I have my super ultra disgusting dirty Amrezy highlight by Anastasia here, so let's ignore all of the excess highlighter that has caked onto the product. It just means that she's been used and loved, so we want our products to look this ugly, okay? But I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of the Amrezy highlight and just pack it right over top of one of the swatches so you can see how highlight is intensified, and then I'll go ahead and just do a swatch of just the highlight on its own with no intensifier underneath, just bare ass skin. Okay, so let's go ahead and just put a little bit of the Amrezy highlight over top. And one more time, because I always layer up my highlights. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I always layer my highlight when I put it on my face, so therefore I'll do it for the demo as well. But as you can see, we have a pretty strong intensified highlight. And if it looks a little bit brighter in here, that is because I went ahead and turned my lights back on just so you guys can see the reflection and the reflective quality that the Alchemist highlighter gives other powder highlights. So let's go ahead and pick up a little bit more of the Amrezy highlight, and I'm just gonna pop this right next door just so we can see what this looks like on bare skin with no Alchemist highlighter underneath, just plain old bare skin. I'm not gonna keep my brush in my hand. There we go. And just to be fair, let's go in with one more layer. Build this puppy up. So here is everything all swatched out. We have the Alchemist just on its own over on the side here. Super wet and glimmery looking. Then in the middle right here, we have the Alchemist with the Amrezy highlighter layered over top. And on the end, we have just the plain old Amrezy highlight just on bare skin. And just to be fair, here are the swatches without my bright ass lights shining down and washing everything out. So we have the Alchemist on its own, the Alchemist and Amrezy, and finally just Amrezy. And these swatches here are of the samples that they sent over. Like I said earlier, they sent over 6 different samples of their Rare Light Crème Luminizers. These are $29 each, and they're designed to give a more ethereal glow. They don't really have the sparkle in them that the Highlight Intensifier does. And these retail for $29, and you get 5.6 grams of product in the actual pan itself. Now, like I said, these are meant to have a bit more of an ethereal glow, a little bit more of like an iridescence to them. So starting with this beautiful light yellow gold over here, this is the shade Stellaris. And next door we have this beautiful iridescent lavendery purple, which is called Lunaris. Then we have Ghost Light, which is a bit more cool toned. It's kind of like a cool toned purpley blue, and it's also a little bit lighter than Lunaris. Then we have Solaris, which is one of my absolute favorites. It's pretty similar to Ghost Light, but it has more of a pink base. Then we have Etherial, which is more of a champagne tan nudie type of base, and it has a little bit of micro shimmer iridescence running throughout it as well. And finally on the end here we have this beautiful rose gold pinky shade, which is called Phosphine. Here are the swatches with my lights turned back on. As you can see, they're a bit more washed out, but they are a little bit lighter in person than they looked in the previous clip where my lights were off. They're a little bit brighter, a little bit more pastel. So now that you've seen the Highlight Intensifier in action, I am really curious to know what you guys think about this product, because I have not been able to put it down since I got it. I have been using it almost every single day, and I'm getting a pretty big dip in my product here, so I'm like kind of debating if I need to purchase another, because this is a very beautiful and unique product, and I haven't really found anything like this that makes your highlight look as intense and as bright. Because honestly, out of all of the jelly, cream, liquid, whatever it may be type of highlighters that I've used in my life, which is a lot, like more than I'd like to admit, I think that the Alchemist highlighter does the best job of intensifying the highlight that you put over top. I think it does the best job of giving you a wet and glass-like skin effect, and I don't really find that this emphasizes a whole lot of texture. Now, every freaking highlight emphasizes texture, but this guy doesn't emphasize texture as much as you would think it does. Even though it does have that micro shimmer and micro glitter throughout it, it really doesn't emphasize texture that much, and if any at all, which is pretty impressive to me considering how glimmery and sparkly and shimmery this is. I don't really find myself looking like I have that much texture or looking cakey on my cheeks at all. Everything looks and layers up relatively smoothly, which I know a lot of people out there would appreciate. Because believe it or not everyone out there has 12-year-old baby skin, okay? Some of us do have a little bit of texture, and some of us can't afford these expensive procedures to diminish texture on our skin. Some of us just have to deal with it, so we definitely don't want things emphasizing the texture we already have. It's already bad enough as it is already. So before I hop off camera here, I just want to show you guys obviously some swatches of the Highlight Intensifier in action, and I also want to show you some swatches of some of these samples that they sent me. They sent me like 6 different samples of their Rare Crème Luminizers, which are kind of like the Highlight Intensifier, but they're just basically meant to wear on your cheeks just all alone. They're not meant to really layer over top with another powder. They're basically like the Highlight Intensifier if it didn't have micro shimmer in it and if it wasn't as intense. They sent over 6 of these. I want to show you guys just some swatches of these so you can see their true beauty in action. Okay, my friends, I think that is everything that I had to show you guys today as far as these highlighters go. I really hope that you enjoyed watching them and seeing them applied and seeing swatches and learning a little bit about this highlighter that really does give you a glass-like skin effect. And I'm not even the kind of person that buys into this kind of crap, but I truly feel like this is a very special product, so I wanted to share that with you guys today. But please do let me know if you bought anything from Rituel De Fille before, or if you tried the Highlight Intensifier, because I think that it's a very special and unique product, and honestly, more people should be talking about it. But with that being said, that is going to be wrapping up today's video, and if you are not already subscribed, I would absolutely love it if you would hit that subscribe button down below and give me a big old thumbs up if you did enjoy the video and you found it helpful. But I hope you are having an absolutely amazing, beautiful, and glowy day wherever you are, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye!